Memphis, Tennessee. On April 4th, 1968, a single rifle shot ended the life of Martin Luther King, the pacifist leader of millions of African Americans.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
Who killed Martin Luther King? 24 years after King's death, that question is still being asked. The Federal Bureau of Investigation concluded that King was assassinated by a lone gunman. He's serving out a 99-year sentence in this prison, the Riverbend Maximum Security Institution, near Nashville. His name, James Earl Ray. In 1968, he was the most wanted man in the world. Today, Ray claims he didn't kill Reverend King.
No, I did not.
Is Ray saying this because he hopes to be paroled, or does he mean he was not alone? Could he have been part of a plot to assassinate the American civil rights leader?
No, I didn't, but however, recently there has been accusations I was some type of a willing decoy in the homicide, but I wasn't.
The murder of Martin Luther King, like the assassination of John F. Kennedy, was a traumatic moment in American history. Both have left scars and a number of questions unanswered. When the police investigated Martin Luther King's murder, they were convinced there hadn't been a plot to kill the civil rights leader. The police only listened to witnesses who backed up this theory. They ignored people who doubted James Earl Ray was the killer. The FBI didn't look into the possibility there might have been more than one gunman. They didn't try to find a man named Raoul. According to James Earl Ray, Raoul was the reason he was in Memphis. And nobody has ever explained how Ray financed his escape to Europe after King's murder. With these and other questions still not answered, it is difficult to believe the FBI's official story. The FBI insists Martin Luther King was killed by James Earl Ray, who acted alone. According to them, the case is closed. But so are the documents concerning the case. Journalists and lawyers often request to see the FBI files on Martin Luther King. Under the Freedom of Information Act, the FBI is obligated to reply. But when the files are delivered, they are always heavily censored. If the case is really closed, what does the FBI have to hide? But there's a more important question. If Martin Luther King was not killed by an insane racist acting alone, why was he assassinated? During the 1960s, Martin Luther King was the champion of black Americans. Husband, father of 4 children, he was a Baptist minister who preached nonviolence and fought racial segregation. His activism got him jailed 5 times during the 60s. In 1964, when he was 35, Martin Luther King received the Nobel Peace Prize. That was 3.5 years before his death.
We've got to give ourselves to this struggle until the end. Nothing would be more tragic.
Early in 1968, the sanitation workers in Memphis went on strike. All of them were black.
These are the people who picked up the stuff we threw away. And so they had this tremendous sign that went across their chests. It didn't say peace, justice. All it said was, I am a man. I'm a man. And so if you see me as a man, you'll treat me. They had no bathroom privileges. They made so little that when they worked all week long, they still qualified for welfare. It was 2 steps up from slavery. And so Martin said, these are the people that I am concerned about. And he came to Memphis.
On March 28, 1968, King went to Memphis to lead a protest march.
He was bringing the poor peoples of this nation together. Red, white, black, brown, yellow. That's a powerful coalition. That means a redistribution of the wealth. That means new tax laws. I mean, you're going to embarrass this nation, bring all these poor people. You can no longer say, because you're white and I'm black, you don't need to go. He says, your child is hungry, my child is hungry. They don't cry in color. I'm hungry in color. And they begin to hear that, which made him very dangerous.
Dangerous indeed. By 1968, black Americans no longer tolerated racism. Some had given up on King's peaceful protests. A few had started using violence to shake the foundations of America's white establishment. J. Edgar Hoover, head of the FBI, thought King and the civil rights movement were a threat. According to an internal FBI memo, Hoover decided King had to be removed from the national scene.